According to
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming without a reminder. So I really appreciate that. And, you know, I will do whatever I can do to help make it a easy and, you know, quick meeting. And so we'll call the meeting in to session. And I guess the first, I'm just looking here. The first one is, can we have a volunteer to take the minutes? Um, Dr.
I guess I can do it if no one else. I signed up for a later one, but if we don't have someone for today, I can do it.
Okay. Dr. Paula, did anyone sign up for that? For
No.
taking the minutes? Okay. All right.
No, not for today.
All right. You know what? Maybe we can do is before we close the meeting, we'll get volunteers for next month's meeting, and that might be, I don't know, a little smoother. Let's see.
I can
Okay.
share the spreadsheet when you come to that part of the agenda.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. And first off, Councilwoman, Deputy Mayor. Oh, I always want to still call you Deputy Mayor G. Danielle. Oh, she might come back. She did say that
Sorry,
she was.
I have all my kids here. Sorry.
That's all right. It'll be short.
Short and sweet update. We have a council meeting tomorrow. It feels like it's been forever since we had our last council meeting. I think we are introducing the operating budget or approving the operating budget tomorrow. Trying to think about what else stands out on the agenda, but those are sort of the key highlights off the top of my head.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Oh, go ahead, Colleen.
Oh, was there an update about empathy training?
I have not received an update on empathy training. Let me ping Jackie right now. Actually, we just saw her today. We should have asked her.
Yeah, I wasn't at the last meeting, so I didn't know if that there'd been one at the last meeting about it. So.
Yeah, I'll ping her.
Oh, there was an update at the last meeting, Colleen. We're
Oh,
definitely.
you missed that update. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to
Well, I
explain
thought it was on the agenda for today too. I had noticed it. But no.
Sorry about that. I forgot that you weren't here. So they did end up postponing it. I did share feedback with council that was very frustrating as people had changed their calendars and rescheduled meetings so that they could participate. And to, cancel at the last minute was very frustrating. So that feedback was shared. They do want to reschedule the empathy training, but just I think for staff and for this group, no longer including council members, which I think it's probably for the best. I think it's a strange dynamic to have the council members doing it with ABCR anyway. So I think it's better off that way. So that was the decision that was made. I don't know that she's actually scheduled a new date though.
Okay.
I saw her at the was it Memorial Day, or it was in one of the other events. I'm trying to think if it was Pride or something, and she said she hadn't scheduled anything. Yeah, but that she was working on it. Can you say that again? I saw her at like one of the township events, either Memorial Day or Pride. And she said she hadn't scheduled anything yet, but she's working on it. I believe it was Memorial Day, now that I think about it.
So the training would be for ABCR, but not the council?
Correct.
Correct.
That's ridiculous. That's literally the point, is for the council to receive this training.
Well, I agree that council members would definitely benefit from this training. The initial purpose of this was to allow ABCR to be it was supposed to be, let's get the training, and then also potentially get the trainer, so that we could go out, well, not we, you all can go out into the community and facilitate, discussions, with a goal of like community building. I think initially, actually, it wasn't supposed to include all the council members. It was just going to be me and the mayor in like the first initial iteration of this. But to your point, I do think there are council members who, I mean, anyone would benefit from this training.
As a liaison, you wear two hats. Are you going to train with us, Danielle?
I would love to, but I don't want to cause any drama. Because if I go, then they're like, why does she get to go and I didn't get to go? So I'm like,
You could have a whole good and welfare about that.
no.
No. No,
That's right.
Joseph.
We'll let you guys cook together and we will support from the sidelines.
Mhm.
Well, hopefully we can get something, in the works soon. I had also mentioned to Jackie, I think when scheduling that, maybe if she could take into consideration some of our schedules and vacations, or just ask, we would greatly appreciate that, because people already have trips planned at this point. So,
Heard. I will send that reminder.
thank you. Thanks. Okay, did anyone else have any questions about the report, or? Okay, so at this point, we can hear from the public, although I don't see anyone right now. Maybe I don't know, does anyone have something, very, very short, random, that's not listed on the agenda?
Carol, do we have the
Juneteenth.
minutes from the last meeting?
No, we do not. In all honesty, I wasn't after, to ask anyone for the minutes from the last meeting. And who was it that
Oh, I
did
took them. I
the?
thought I emailed. I took them. I thought I emailed you. Let me send them over. My apologies.
Oh, okay. All right. So, we will resend that. Letitia, if you can send it to everybody, that would be great. If
do.
not, that's okay. And then we can look at it at the next meeting as well.
Sure, will do.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Paula.
Sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
Oh, no, it's okay. All right. I know we have a lot of Juneteenth activities set up for this coming Thursday. It's going to be a very, very busy day from the morning till the evening. There are several flyers out, and maybe I think someone did a nice flyer of all the towns. I just got that literally like sometime this afternoon when I was in the doctor's office. I saw it, so maybe I can forward that to you later on, and everybody would be most welcome at all of the events. Okay, so without any other questions, I'll close this session of Good and Welfare. And now we can go right into the next thing is the 4th of July parade for ABCR. So someone gave me an idea because I can't walk. Definitely not right now. That maybe we could asked Doug about using a car, you know, and driving a car in the parade, because other people do that as well. Um, but I don't know how many people, and we really do need a commitment, you know, or a thought tonight as to who would be willing to be in the 4th of July parade, so that I can give that information to Doug. This would be for ABCR.
Cheryl, what are the hours for the parade?
I think lineup is at 9.
9, yeah, that's what I was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm walking with my church, so I'm not able to.
Yeah, I know I did it before, but this year I'm not in town, so I can't do it this year.
I would be able to walk it. I do not want to drive a car, but I would
Okay.
need a second person to hold a banner.
Thank
So,
you so much, Colleen. I really appreciate that. And you know, a lot of times, sometimes when we're like really, you know, we're committed to a bunch of different things. Someone gave me the idea of, you know, doing different ones each year. You
Mhm.
know, so you know, just trying to share it. So I really do appreciate that very much.
Well, I can only do it if somebody else does it with me, though.
Someone does it with.
You can't
Well, I'm
hold the
still
banner
thanking
with one person.
I'm still thanking you for being willing to be the, you know, first person to say, is there anyone else that would hold the other side of the banner with Colleen?
I would love to, but I work at a sleepaway camp and we will not be around the whole summer. Um, but I really wish I could. I'm sorry.
No, I understand.
Just for me, I'm going to be away that day as well. I won't be in town.
Oh, thank you.
The police department, we have a whole bunch of people, and I'm going to be out on that one.
And obviously I'm walking with council, so.
Yeah, yeah. You're on a float.
Maybe we walk, we throw the candy or whatever it is. Or flags, we give out flags. Board of Ed does candy.
Okay, so it really does sound like there are a lot of no's at this point. So
Well, unless you're going to drive a car, I could ride with you, but I don't want to be driving in a parade. That
oh, you don't want to be the one. Oh,
I wouldn't want to. No, I don't.
listen,
No,
I have to buy a car.
I'm not that
before
good a
then.
driver. I don't want to drive in the parade.
Cheryl, is there any, well, you actually, probably even the conversation for Danielle, actually, a response from her, actually. Since all these advisory boards are technically teen council advisory boards, is there any way that, any of the employees in the township are walking it and they can help carry the flag with her? I'm not sure what the parameters are who's walking from the township. Is it just council? Is it employees that day? Like, I don't know. So is there any type of support that they can get to help carry the flag?
Sorry, I'm trying to feed the kids dinner. I don't know. Typically there's Doug and a handful of other township employees. I don't know that they would be available to help carry the flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, maybe you could just get
you
back
might-
to me, Cheryl, if
Okay.
the car is an option, I could consider. But again, I wouldn't
Okay.
want to be the driver.
Maybe, I don't know if the high school does community service hours over the summer. Maybe, I don't know, the forum, maybe someone reaches out to the forum. I know it's a stretch, but does anyone have high schoolers or friends that might be willing to volunteer? I don't know.
Mhm.
All right, sorry, I have to finish plating this food. I'm gonna be off camera, but I'm listening.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. So what I'll do is, I guess we can just follow it up through email, and we'll get back. You know, we definitely do. Even, you know, if I get a car to drive, I wouldn't drive mine, the current one I have right now. But by then I might be in a different situation. Uh, you know, maybe a couple of you can think about it. because this is a part of reaching out to the township and the community. So you might want to think about it, and we'll talk about it, I guess, through email and get back. Does that sound good to everyone? Okay.
Do other advisory boards march? Maybe they can all march together and someone can help Colleen with the
Yeah.
banner.
Yeah, but I know Always Walks. They meet at different places though. I don't know if they're all together,
Mm,
Mhm.
but
okay.
I know there are other ones that walk.
Mm-hmm.
That's yes, Lieutenant.
But I know obviously the police department's working in twofold there. We're going to be helping out obviously with traffic on one end, and then people will be marching. Something we're hopefully going to try to do, if we have enough volunteers, is going to be able to have our Junior Police Academy cadets march. That might be something if I can have them help out, or I don't know if you guys are familiar, we have the auxiliary police officers, which are basically volunteers, but they are able to do traffic and stuff like that. It might be something where we could use them if they were willing to volunteer to maybe drive the car that you're speaking about. I can definitely work with Officer Gloria here, see if I can grab anyone. I kind of feel bad because with all that stuff going on, like I said, I'm going to be kind of out, taking a break from town on this one. But, I can at least see of those couple options, if that's something that's possible, might be able to help out.
That sounds wonderful. You deserve the break, definitely. All right, so let's keep it going. I don't know what Doug's deadline is on, but he already sent out an email, wanting to hear back from people. So, and that might have been, was it today or was it? I might have been Friday. But we'll keep the discussion going via email. Great. All right. So I guess I'll move on to, I wanted to see just an update on the Google signups. And I guess this is the part where I'll ask for, our next meeting is on the 21st. Would someone like to co-lead this meeting?
I signed up to.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Colleen
great,
already.
Colleen. Great.
Sharing access, I can show you. I can share the form. It's not too many signups though.
Okay, all
But
right.
if you make me a co-host, I can share the form.
Oh, okay. Let me do that right now.
It asked me to allow you, and I clicked allow, so you can try.
Okay. Got
Great,
it.
wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
So let's see if we have minutes as well.
So Colleen is taking minutes tonight, right?
Yeah, so
Yes.
maybe you could take me off the minutes for the September one then.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right,
So yeah, I did
no one
meeting
else has
notes for
signed
the
up.
next one. Yeah.
So Colleen is going, I'm leading this one, the 16th. Colleen is going to lead the July 21st.
Mhm.
So
And
I'm
so we
assuming then
need-
you want me to see what goes on the agenda. So like what, if people have stuff they want to put on the agenda, they should send it to me for that meeting? Or how do you?
well,
the
or they could
agenda?
send it to everyone. They could send it to, copy, whatever. I know for sure the Matthew Feldman will be a large part of that meeting. Just because we haven't had the time to really digest. So to vote tonight, I think, if we could, I think it would be probably more thoughtful if we could put it in for the 21st, like a final vote type of thing. And so we just need someone for minutes next.
I can take minutes next time.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you. And I also did get your email about the pens and the table cloth, which I'll be going over with Doug. So thank you so much for sending me some
Yeah,
ideas and thoughts there.
you're welcome. And I'm sorry to keep asking, but like how long is the parade march exactly? Is it like an hour, hour and a half? Like what have you guys?
It's
I've never
not
been to.
long. It's
Okay.
not long.
It's from
I
like
don't think, yeah, you line up at 9, it depends on where you are.
Yeah,
You
I
might
think
have
you're
to
done
wait
by
like 20
11.
minutes to
Mhm.
start.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can I'll be available to march with the committee that day.
Oh,
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Woohoo.
so Cheryl, will you let them know? Because I now that I think about it, the deadline might have been Friday, because the reason I'm available is Age Friendly Tina could not get 2 marchers. So that's why I can usually I march with them. So
All right. I'm
will
gonna
you
look
let
at,
Doug know? Can we still reserve a spot?
okay. I'll find out as soon. I'll reply to that email as soon as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I sure will. Definitely. Um okay, so the next thing and the last topic is to
So I'm gonna
discuss.
stop sharing this then.
Would you like to continue sharing the Matthew Feldman changes and stuff
Sure. Let me just pull it up.
on the Zoom?
Yeah, let me
And this
just
is our final topic. So um I'll just go ahead and tell you one thing I did see is that it still has me as the person to send it to, and that it needs to be the township clerk. Like
okay. Let
we
me
don't
just
want to
share.
mention the chair at all. It would just send it to the township clerk, and then when he's ready, he'll make his decision. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, we did say ABCR chair via township clerk, so we can just say township clerk's office.
Yeah. And you might even want to put that at the top because people are already asking, about it. Like when are
Take
we
off his what's his email? Is it clerk at?
I
Is it
believe
clerk?
it is clerk. I'm not 100% sure, so we can put that for now and then double check it.
Yeah, it's clerk at tnecnewjersey.gov.
Okay, I thought it was it. Okay.
Wonderful. And so if anyone reaches out to me, I'm going to say that's not the proper format. You need to send it to the clerk, and here is where you can find information, etc. So this is
Sharing the screen now, just so I can put that in the minutes.
Hmm.
Who is sharing this?
Oh, Paula.
Paul, it is still Paula. Okay.
And I'll go down in case anyone has any other questions.
okay. I have one question. I see at the top of the second page you have group, individual, or youth. I don't know if your subcommittee discussed whether or not we are going to be. Are we giving 3 awards, or are we just wondering what we may be, whatever we're given? If we're given enough for 3 awards, then there'll be 3 awards. I don't know.
Didn't we say that? And that we were gonna, depending on how many things we got, nominations we got in, would determine it?
Right, that's what we did say.
Yes, okay.
Did we,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, if we're gonna have that change, do we need to have a sentence of explanation to anyone nominating?
To say what?
Well, this year, the ABCR board may consider a separate award for a group if there are a number of groups nominated. I don't know, whatever. I just, will that confuse people without an explanation?
It doesn't seem
Or
to
do
me
we-
like there's anything different, right? It just, I think we just want to know who's being nominated, and then once we get all of the nominees, then we see if there's enough to nominate from each category or to create different categories, right? Isn't that what's been happened in
Well, like
previous years?
last year, we had a dilemma because a number of people had nominated organizations and individuals, and we had to choose. They were in the same category. Either they were an individual. So we had adult or youth. And a lot of us were like, well, it's hard to compare an organization to an individual.
I
So
feel like we had all three last year. I don't
We-
think we
we've-
changed it.
We did, but we didn't have, I think there was, but we didn't have enough for the member for the organization,
For
so
one
we
group,
axed
right.
it, so we didn't do it. We just did the youth and we did the adult.
Mm-hmm. So that's
I thought-
always been on the application. I don't think we changed that.
Oh, I thought that we weren't allowed to give a separate award for an organization. Like we had to choose between an individual or an organ. And I thought that was the confusion.
No, the year before we did an organization.
Yeah, we're allowed.
Yeah,
We
there's
were
it's been
allowed to do
organizations. Mm-hmm.
whatever we want, really, But I think it was the number, So if you only put in one organization, is that really? I think that it was, in terms of fair. But I think the crossover that you might be thinking about, Colleen, was because one organization was a youth organization. But
I just recall that we were a little baffled on how to handle that. Like
it included youth, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still, what would you, I guess at the time when we read the nominations, we could make a call as to which pile it fits best with.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it was like somebody nominated, if you remember, like the Teaneck Youth Soccer.
Exactly.
We were like,
That's
is that a youth or I don't remember. And I thought we were going to
That would be
add
a group.
category for organization where we could
Well,
give 3 awards instead of 2. That's
Well,
what
that
I
would be the same as a group. An organization would be the same as a group.
Yeah, but last year we only gave 2, a youth and an adult, is what I'm saying. We only gave 2 awards. So we had to put the organizations in one of the 2 category, youth or adult.
So are we just gonna, but didn't the application already have it? We just didn't get anyone for it, so we didn't acknowledge it that year. So is that the same concept we're gonna follow? Like we have it in case organizations are submitted? And then if no one submits, then we just kind of like, there's no award that year?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be fine. I'm just saying, are we allowed to give 3? 1 for youth, 1 for adults? I think it actually
So
should
I
say
thought we had
adult,
this
not
discussion.
individual.
But I thought we had this discussion last year, and there was no limitation on how many we could get. So if we get 10 in each category, say, if we wanted to give 3, couldn't we give 3? Because we're Cheryl, correct? If I'm wrong.
well, my understanding is that we could do whatever we want to do. With that said, I mean, obviously, people are going to see this, you know, just to make sure we don't put the township at any legal liability or anything. But my understanding is that if we wanted to do 3, we could, but that was an understanding that I did not have until last year. But in previous years, we've always done like 2 awards or something like. I don't even know. In previous years, I think we only did 1 award, and then we finally decided we wanted to do a youth award, right? And then it went to a youth award to, you know, including groups. So my understanding as of last year was that we could do 3 if we wanted to. And you know, obviously everything's going to be confirmed before it goes up on the website, but that is my understanding now, but I didn't always have that understanding. In previous years, Colleen, I thought exactly what you were thinking.
Yeah, that's what I remember because I've
Yeah.
been on the board a few years like you have, Cheryl, and we only gave 2. But if you're
Yes.
saying that like we can give 3, I think that would have made it a lot better last year because we had a number of organizations.
Yes. Yes.
But by the way, I think that should probably say adult instead of individual. A youth is an just grammatically, a youth is an individual. So
Excellent point, Colleen.
okay.
Excellent. Well, okay. So then I guess we have to also decide it's just going to be 1 adult. Let's say it's 2 adults that do something together.
And they
Would
would,
they go in the group category then?
yes, they would be
Yeah,
a group.
because individuals 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not individual anymore. We're using the term adult. So,
Adult.
Yeah, so if it's 2 people, it would be a group.
yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
you should put youth individual, adult individual. So it's more clear.
Honestly,
Mm.
I don't know that we should make, like, I think that having it be a little vague might be to our benefit because then we can see who applies and then we can make the categories as it makes sense. So, you know, maybe if we have not that many, you know, individuals, but we have 2 adults who apply and also a group, then maybe those 2 adults who are just 2 would go under the adult category and then the group would go under the group category. It just might be easier to have some flexibility based on how many applications we get and who applies.
Then maybe isolate the group to say group is 3 or more or 4 or more. So then anyone under that would fall into the individual categories.
We could, but I think we're probably reading into this. I mean, and maybe not, but I think that we're probably reading into this a little bit more than
Agreed.
I think we
You
just
could also change the word
I
to
agree.
organization. You could change the word to organization, maybe? Is that a little more clear?
Yeah.
Well, remember 2 years ago, we had the 2 young ladies. They weren't necessarily an organization, but they could have been 2 people who did something together.
And they won the
Yeah,
youth, the 2 of them.
But we gave it to both of them as a youth award, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
The other thing is that, I mean, what is we could also take out these little check boxes entirely and then maybe have like another line like that just says like nominees name and then just like describe maybe it's just that they have to then describe who the nominee is. So it's not necessarily a checkbox because then maybe that is a little bit too specific. They do it. And then once we get the nominations, we can kind of see how we want to categorize the different awards. Like maybe we could have a line that says like, describe your nominee and then in parentheses, group, individual slash group, comma, youth slash adults, etc. Like,
I mean, then we would have to sift through that and try and figure it out.
Yeah.
it would just be
I
another
guess-
line. But yeah, I mean, I also think we could keep it this way. I think that we don't know. I think that we just don't want to make it too specific because then we might limit ourselves on the other end.
I guess where things got like difficult for us I'm just going by the last time, which was difficult. For some reason, we got a huge number of nominations, and they were nominating like there were organizations. The only one I remember is the soccer league, but there were a few others that were like the entire organization was nominated, and we just thought like you're sort of comparing apples to oranges to compare an organization to its contribution to the community to like an individual. And so like the soccer league was nominated under the youth category against like individual young people who had done. So it just didn't feel like there were people who wanted to acknowledge the good work of the organization as well as the individuals. So that's why this is what I recall of why we raised the issue.
We could always just define what they are on the form as well. Like an individual can be a group of one or two doing one separate task or one set task, and then a group is a organization, or kind of just predefine it. That might help us also once we determine what it is as well. And I don't remember what the actual specifics were for the award, so that's why I'm trying to just think if it was. I think it's just an award, right? There was no like amount for, I should say, for a type of, for a specific person or group, if I remember right.
I have to tell you, I think we'll be lucky if we, at how many submissions that we do get, last year I think was a special year. And I did share widely, at every council meeting, that the ABCR is doing the Matthew Feldman, and I put it out there that we were doing this award. So that won't be the same case this year. So I think I don't know how many. The thing is, please just think of this: what you put in writing, then you are held to. All right. So if you put a lot of details where you'll be legally held to, so if you put a lot of restrictions, it may make things just as difficult. I think things might have been vague for so long for a reason. So that's just something to think about. But I can see that this is probably the hardest decision out of everything that we have to reflect on.
Well, then, I mean, you're right. There might have been a fluke that we got so many last year, and I guess I'm okay with just leaving it as is, and then we decide if others are okay with that. Then we decide if we award a third category or not based on the numbers, like somebody had said earlier.
I think last meeting we had also discussed, like, well, what if we get, a youth, individual youth nominee that is a great nominee, and also a youth group, and then also an adult nominee, and then an adult group. And so I think that there was this feeling of, if we really are getting so many great nominees and so many, great, individuals and groups who we can honor, then we can have the flexibility. It's like, I don't know again, this is, this is my first time to being a part of this. So I defer to those of you with more experience, but then we have also the ability to maybe do 4, if that feels right. Not necessarily that it needs to be 3 or 2, or we just basically, and again, I don't know exactly how this works, but then when we see the nominations and we evaluate, we're not necessarily evaluating, I mean, it can be, but we don't necessarily need to evaluate it as all the youth compared to the youth. We just kind of evaluate it as who do we feel is, the top candidates to get this award, and then figure it out from there. Like, well, what categories do those people fall into?
Yeah, I mean, that's okay with me. I think that flexibility would be helpful. We didn't feel we had it last year was the problem. So I think if everyone else is good with that, and it's not, and the town is okay with us potentially having 4 plaques instead of 2 plaques, that's really, I think last year we thought we could only pick 2.
Mhm.
And there,
Okay.
we were seeking some clarity on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll definitely check with confirm that with the township attorney, but I would think that if we decided that we wanted to give out 4 awards this year, from what I was told, or from this current understanding, because that wasn't the understanding 3 years ago, right? This current understanding is that we could do that. So,
Okay.
I will confirm that though, absolutely, so that we're not into any type of liability. Yes, Will, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sorry if we talked about this already, but how are we reaching the community to let them know to vote? And is it an equitable channel to reach everyone, so that we really have all different opportunities for everybody to be able to vote somebody in, or win an award?
Boy, well, that's an excellent question. Last year, I went everywhere, like to the point of exhaustion. I went to groups, different groups that I knew, MLK committee group, different groups, block association groups, anywhere that I could that people would let me stand up, I said it. And at every single council meeting, both um, Councilwoman G and myself, I used my 3 minutes to mention that as well. And so, I mean, I think that's the best that we can do. But this year, I can't do that. I just can't. Don't have the time. I will share and do my part, but I can't do it to the level that I did last year. And
And I
I think
think it was also on the emails that come out from the township. If you're on those emails, I know I remember receiving those emails quite often.
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can certainly have the town send a nixel. I think word of
Mm.
mouth is really powerful. I think you all represent a very diverse group, groups of neighbor geographically and beyond. And so I think if you just tell everyone the different groups that you're a part of, that helps as well. And then I just wanted to clarify, Will, that it's a nomination, not a vote. So the public doesn't vote on the candidates, they just nominate the candidates. I just wanted to clarify that piece. And then I just want to apologize in advance. I do need to hop off. If you have any questions for me, feel free to shoot me an email or send me a text. But great discussion, and I know you guys, this is phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to the next iteration of the award.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you. All right, so I have some homework. I from what I'm hearing is that you definitely want me to confirm along with this, along with everything else, to make sure that we are, you know, legally able to do these things, and I will do that. Um, and what I just don't know. I have to take a hard vote on where we're at in terms of leaving it, I guess, the way it is, so that we have flexibility. Or actually, you know what? I don't have to take a hard vote because this isn't the final. This isn't the final draft that's going to be posted online. We're not going to post until we don't have to vote until July. How does that sound to everybody? Just so that we have more time to look at it and make sure, just to see if there's anything,
So if we vote in July,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm assuming it would take what, a week or two after to get it up. And we're saying that this submission date is September 3rd. That just leaves us a little bit over just about a month. Is that enough time?
Oh, 1 month is definitely enough time, but we may want to change that date next month. We may want to change the submission date. We can definitely vote on that. Because we've had some real excellent discussion. So maybe that's something you all want to think about, and we can talk about the documents via email back and forth, now that we've seen these, that everyone's seen these drafts. And I would love to have a full committee to take the vote as well, but we might not be able to. Yes,
Okay,
Mrs.
so
Schultz.
well, just for clarification, because this is like the third month we've discussed it, and I think we shared it last month as well. So now are we changing the entire timeline just so we're clear? Because if we bring it back another month, what are we voting differently in another month?
Yeah, that was my question too, because if the award is supposed to be done in September, we're not giving ourselves enough time to really get submissions, review them, and vote as a group.
You
And I
can
think
move it to the next week,
well, I
but I
think
never
we
got
talked about
this copy.
awarding it in October, being that if the nominations were due by September, we would review them at our September meeting, which would be mid-September, and then award the nomination at the October council meeting. So if we have to push it back, then that just pushes it back another month to November, and then we start getting tricky into the holidays and the cold weather. I think we've already discussed this ad nauseum. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just
also
me
like
personally.
unless there's anything other than that specific thing that
Yeah.
I mean, I think this looks great. So unless there's anything, I don't think, I mean, I certainly don't feel very, very strongly about it. So I'm happy to defer to anyone else. If like, I would say let's just
Make a
finish
decision.
this off here and then because to push it
agree.
off just for this, the group adult child thing, it doesn't necessarily seem worth it to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was just Cheryl was going to get clarification that it's okay for us to give more than 2 plaques, but we don't need to hold up approval of the form to get that clarification. We can,
Mhm.
like you said, leave it vague so that we have more discretion to decide when we vote. I'm okay with that. So I'm okay with voting on this as is.
Okay. All right. So everybody feels they've had, because I'm not sure that I saw this document. It might have been shared at the last meeting, but I didn't get like a physical copy. So as long as everybody feels comfortable, um,
I'm fine with it.
okay.
Fine
All right,
as
let's
well.
do it.
Okay.
Okay. So those of you that are,
You got to ask for a motion to adopt it.
yes, but I just wanted to figure out, we do have people that are, what's the word? Not standby, but they're not voting members unless we're down. which we
Alternates.
are, yeah, alternates. Thank you. We are down one. So I just so that I can see right here. Do you know if you're an alternate in the group?
Yeah, I think Sharuk and I are the alternates. Am I right about that, Sharuk?
Yeah, Liat is alternate 1. I'm alternate 2.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so Shruk, you've done a wonderful job, and I guess Liette gets the vote tonight. And
Sharuk, if
hope,
you'd like to vote, I'm happy to, if I'm allowed, I don't know, I'm happy to defer my vote to you.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that. So.
Okay,
What if I log
agree
off
with
really
them
quickly?
anyway.
Okay. So for the minutes, I need someone making a motion and someone seconding it.
Okay, we'll let someone.
I'll make a motion to vote on the form
Yeah,
for Matthew Feldman Award.
I think
I'll
Dr.
second.
Paul. Okay,
That's fine.
second.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out who said what though.
That
Letitia,
was
you make the
Letitia.
motion.
Okay. And Paula seconded. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you call the vote, Cheryl?
Okay, all right. So, Dr. Paula,
Oh,
You
we're
gotta
doing
call the
individual.
vote, Cheryl.
we're doing it
You say
individually.
all in favor. You're supposed to say all in
Oh,
favor.
yeah.
Oh, I think we have to do like this one by one.
Okay.
We have to, so that's why I was calling the vote individually, because it is, the Matthew Feldman Award. It's, but we can do it really quick. Dr. Paula, yay or
Yes.
nay? Yes. Okay,
Yay.
wonderful. Will.
Yay.
All right. Joseph.
Yes.
Wonderful. Colleen.
Yes.
Letitia.
Yes.
Leah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
Cheryl,
That's
you
it.
gotta record your vote.
Oh,
Are you in your-
my vote is a yes. My vote is a yes. So we're
All right.
good. Okay. All right. So, at this point, in the meeting, the rubric is a little bit more, right? Meaty. I'm wondering if we would like to hold off on going through that until next month.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I sent it out to everyone, so if you have any, you can send it
Thank
back before
you.
the next meeting.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paula. We really appreciate everyone's wonderful work, the entire subcommittee. And with that, there is, does anyone have anything
I
else
just
that
have,
they?
I do actually.
Yes.
Just the township website, Colleen, if you can just document this in the meeting minutes.
Mhm.
The advisory board meeting is not on November 27th, it's on November 17th. That's the listing date that's incorrect.
The November 17th is the correct date?
According to our schedule, yes, and they have it as the 27th. So which date
Okay.
is correct? Actually, let's look real quick.
Actually, they probably put a 2 instead of a 1. That's all.
Exactly, yeah, because the 24th is a Monday, so that's just a typo.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll mention that to Doug as well.
And then for us internally, TNIC Day is September 15th, but we have a meeting that day. I doubt we can do both. So we have to change that September meeting because that's TNIC Day.
Yes. I think when we had started them, we weren't sure when the town was going to, or when we had scheduled it, we weren't sure when the town was going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to do
of course.
TNIC Day on a Monday,
Mm-hmm.
not a
So we have,
weekend.
no, it's always a weekday after it is. We have to change that September meeting, which also, I know that's Matthew Feldman Day deliberations, so.
Yes, and we also need to look at the holidays. So we'll make those, we'll talk about that at our next meeting and send an email to Doug about that. And we can also discuss back and forth through email as well if you especially for something like a date,
Yeah.
if we so choose.
Okay. And then my last thing to ask was, because our November meeting is the 17th, the week prior, I think it's the week of Thanksgiving. As the Community Relations Advisory Board, are you guys interested in maybe doing a turkey drive where we're just giving out turkeys that are donated to us? I know a lot of other organizations do it, but in this economy, everyone needs a meal, and it would be, even if we just give out like 50 turkeys, it's not like crazy. But if I can get like the ShopRite, local ShopRite or Stop and Shop to donate the frozen turkeys for free, are we interested in doing something like that? As a Community Relations Advisory Board who should be in the community doing things, that's the holiday time. A lot of other organizations do it, but us.
I'm open. Is it what would be the setup for that? Is that mobile or would it be like a stationary kind of?
No, we could do it right in the parking lot at the township municipal building. People can
Okay.
just stop by and pick up a turkey if we can organize this. Is it something like I can look into? Does anyone oppose to it?
Not, would we be better off partnering with another group, or you want to do this
Think
as
about
an
Never Alone again.
advisory group by ourselves?
I mean, we can do both. That's what I'm saying. We can do it. We can just, are we interested in getting like the turkeys, and yeah, we can hook up with local town organizations like Never Alone or the Center for Food Action and, join and partake in that. I'm just asking, are we interested in doing that?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, we should be doing more things as an advisory board.
In the
Yeah,
community, yeah.
I agree.
Mhm,
I
absolutely.
agree. And I think to your point, Letitia, if we can, and Paula, if we can also get some of the organizations so that we can really boost the engagement and really diversify the approach there. I already know some people I can get to kind of help with that if we all decide that that's what we want to do.
Okay, well, where we can connect, and I mean, if everyone's in agreement, maybe you and I can figure something out.
I know the NAACP does a big one at Bryan's school.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
But
Yeah,
they
they
always
do.
sell out and give out their turkeys so quickly.
they
A lot of people
do.
come. So it's like
Do
maybe
we
we
need
can
insurance
add
for
to
that?
it. Do we what?
Do we need any kind of insurance or anything?
I don't think we need insurance.
I don't think so.
We don't need
We
insurance to
can
give away.
just do it on the township's property? Okay.
No, I mean, it's a question to ask. We can ask, hey, can we do it in their parking lot? But I'm just like, obviously logistics need to be worked out, but I'm just saying the holidays coming, everything's, different now for a lot of people. It's something as a community relations, maybe we can look at doing so our presence is here and people know of us.
Yeah, it definitely sounds great. We should definitely put it on the list. Maybe we can do some research.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it, in July. And
Yeah, sounds great.
definitely that if we're doing it on the township grounds, that's something that has to be approved by the town manager. So,
Yeah.
we do have to run it through there. But yeah, we can definitely, it sounds wonderful. And we can talk about that at our July meeting.
I was just gonna say if we maybe want to consider the Stop and Shop parking lot, and also Never Alone is right there. That might be a good place to just kind of collaborate together on that.
Yeah, if we
I
connect
think
with them.
actually
absolutely.
Never Alone is going out of business in the next.
She's kind of mobile, yeah.
Yeah,
Versus
she's
from that
mobile.
parking lot,
Not
yeah,
going out of business.
yeah.
Well, she's losing the space. She's
Yeah,
gonna
she's
lose
out of the
space with them.
yeah. I heard that also. She's out of those. I know she's kind of going to be mobile, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
unfortunate.
still, yeah, it really is because she helped so many people. But thank you so much, everyone. I guess so. We have some things that we can be working on, and we'll come back for our July meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
And with that, I make a motion to end the meeting at 8:33.
Thank you.
Any second?
Second.
Okay, everybody's okay with that, right?
No, I'm not okay. No.
Okay. You want to stay a little longer? You want to stay a little longer?
Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Enjoy.
Bye bye.